going to be a good one. All right, today we are talking about storytelling because it is your most important marketing tool. Storytelling is your most important marketing tool. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some formulas to help you be a better storyteller. Should be pretty fun. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so unique selling proposition. This is the format that we do every week when we talk about our, when we introduce ourselves, right? Every week we go through this unique selling proposition formula. Hi, my name is, I work with a certain kind of person to do something so that they get some sort of outcome. And here is an example of somebody that I worked with recently who got that outcome. That's what the unique selling proposition formula is. So for me, that's, hi, my name is Candace. I help micropreneurs find their micro influencer magic so they attract the best clients for their products and services. In fact, I recently helped a virtual assistant in South Carolina launch or add a new tool to her business that is going to help her virtual assistant clients, do the same, something like that. I mean, I just made that up. So, anyway, so that's it. So it's your ideal client, what it is that you do for your ideal client so that they get some sort of outcome, and social proof. We do that commercial every week. It's called the unique selling proposition. So this is the formula for that. And that's what it looks like. And most of you should know this one. Okay. And then last week we talked about the love, hate, create formula, which is I love something. What I don't like about that something is, so here's what I did about it. So the love, hate, create commercial that I used last week for send out cards was, I loved the concept of sending thank you cards to my furniture clients. However, I don't like my handwriting. I can't even read my handwriting. It's so bad. So when I was introduced to send out cards, I knew it was the perfect solution to the messy scrawl. And now I can send thank you cards and gifts all day long and not have to worry about people reading my messy handwriting. That's a love, hate, create commercial. All right. So you guys ready to do your intros? So using either the USP formula or the love, hate, create formula that you created last week, let's do some introductions. And Natasha, I know you weren't here for either of those, so just do your best. All right, we're going to start with BJ, Maxine, Tracy, Di, and Natasha's last but not least.
Hi, I'm BJ Largent from Casper, Wyoming. I love sending cards and sending love. I hated spending time looking for the right card with the right message. So when I saw send out cards, I knew it would solve all my problems.
Hi, my name is Maxine Serrano. I'm the owner of the Inbox Chick. I work with small business owners to help them get out of their email inbox so that they're not spending time on those little tasks. I recently helped a nonprofit client take care of some of their compliance needs so that they were not spending time chasing documents or trying to figure out dates of when things were due. I was able to take it on for them, and it was one less thing that they need to take care of.
Tracy Peck, Creations Market and Workshop. I love to create and spend time with family creating. I don't like having to do the same project over and over again and trying to hunt down places to go do it. So I created Market and Workshop, our Creations Market and Workshop. And we provide a bunch of different workshops that you can come do and enjoy with your family and friends and team building. And
did you see how that worked? She loves doing crafts. She didn't like the idea that there was no place for her to do crafts with her family and they were all repetitive. So she created a place where families can come and do crafts together and not have to worry about finding the supplies.
I love it.
Isn't that perfect? It's perfect.
Hi, I'm Di Hilstad calling in from Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. I love coffee and conversations, especially sitting down with women and hearing the stories and learning what lights them up. I get excited as I listen, as my brain kicks in with ideas of how to help them increase their income. It saddens me that all too often women fail to see their full potential. they fall into the people pleasing gap and doing what is expected versus what they might really like to do. So I followed my heart and created the Small Business Idea Doula workshops to help women think outside the box, follow their dreams, and create just what is waiting to be birthed inside. A perfect referral for me is a woman in transition, either empty nesters or looking for a new career, or um, a recently divorced woman who needs to find a way to make money for herself.
There was so much clarity in that
Very clear.
commercial. It's like a light bulb went off.
Yes.
Thank
Love.
you.
Perfect. Perfect, Di.
I am Natasha with Do You Bake? I live in Ohio.
Who do you help?
I
Who's your
help
ideal
people-
client?
Anyone that wants mealtime to be more simple.
So maybe you
Not a
help, maybe you
Korean
help
mom.
homeschool moms make meal times more simple. Does that
Yeah.
sound like the right thing?
Well, mine's in the other room screaming.
So that they can,
Be able to spend more time and not be so squirreled like me.
so hi, my
People
name is
from every
Natasha.
direction.
So hi, my name is Natasha. I help homeschool moms simplify mealtime so they can spend more time with their kids and less time squirreling.
Yeah, I'm Ellen Lovelace and I live in Southern California in the desert, and I help businesses become better known in their community using tools in my relationship marketing toolbox, such as send out cards.
You guys are getting so good at your commercials. Okay, so USP and Love Hate Create are great for when you're introducing yourself in a small setting, but you can also make them longer, right? You can make those longer stories. So you can use both of those as formulas to write a longer form story. I mean, you can certainly do Love Hate Create as a 5-paragraph blog post where you do an introduction and you talk about what you love and why you loved it. And then you talk about the big problem that you had and that prevented you from doing what you love, and then the solution that you created, and you wrap it up with a conclusion. That's a perfect blog post, a Love Hate Create blog post. So you can use both of these formulas to do long form storytelling as well as short form storytelling. So that's what we just did. We did short form storytelling. So it is true. I mean, you're gonna think, oh, it's just my USP. It is a story. If you know Greek mythology, all of those heroes had a mentor. So, and most of them, there was a dude named Chiron who was half horse, half man. And Chiron trained Hercules and Achilles and Perseus to be the heroes that they became. So really, you're not the hero, you're Chiron. You're not Hercules, you're Chiron in this situation, because you're turning your client into the hero. If you think about that point that you're not the hero, you're the hero maker, the hero supporter, the hero's coach. And we're picking that up. Okay. So when you're telling your stories, think of it from that point of view. So the Pixar story is a 6-step formula. Every single Pixar film you have ever seen follows this formula. All right. Finding Nemo. This guy named Marlin, he was a single dad and he had a son named Nemo. And every day, Marlin told Nemo not to go to the edge of the cliff, right? And then one day Nemo went over the edge, and because he went over the edge, he got caught by a fisherman. And because he got caught by a fisherman, he ended up in a fish tank in Australia. And because of that, his dad had to go on a journey to find him until finally they were reunited. Every Pixar film follows this same storyboard. All right. So when you're thinking about your story that you're telling about the hero who is your client, and you as the client's coach, or you as the client's guide, right? What can we do here? So once upon a time, there was a empty nester mom who was ready to make a change in her life. Every day she thought about how much she wanted to make a change. And then one day she decided it was time. Because of that, she met with Di. And because of that, they brainstormed the perfect business opportunity until finally let's call her Matilda, until finally Matilda launched her business, right? That's a Pixar story. Really simple. It's so simple, but it's a story, right? And and it can be one paragraph. It can be a feature film, right? But it's a every day, one day, because of that, and the because of that can keep going and going and going. But there is a consequence for an action. Action, consequence, action, consequence, action, consequence, until finally there's a resolution. So this is a really simple storyboard that Pixar has made billions of dollars off of because it works. Can you guys see how you could use this storyboard to write your commercials in your BNI chapter, in your networking meetings? Like,
It's so good.
and so once upon a time, there was a nonprofit who didn't, there was a small nonprofit who didn't have enough staff to take care of their paperwork. Every day they got more frustrated because the paperwork wasn't getting done. One day they'd had enough. And because of that, they met with Maxine, and Maxine helped them straighten out their paperwork until finally everybody at the nonprofit was happy and they could make more money so they could help more people. See how simple that is?
Simple.
Simple. So that is a great storytelling format. And then the new one that I was just introduced to is called the Cinderella story. And this is basically a story of Cinderella. So what's the story of Cinderella? Her mom died, her dad died, her stepmother was evil. She had to clean the house. She couldn't ever leave the house. And then one day they found out that there was going to be a big party. And then her stepmom was like, you can't go to the party unless you do X, 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 and X. And then a fairy godmother came along and bought her dress, made her dress and all blah, 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 blah. And then she went to the party, had a great time. And then back to the pain point, she got home and she had to go back to living the life that she had before until finally Prince Charming came along, matched her with a glass slipper, and they lived happily ever after. Right. So that's the Cinderella story. Again, it's been a while since I've seen Cinderella, so I probably got some of those facts wrong. But it's another 5-part storyboard to write a story. So, let's just use my messy handwriting, right? So I have always loved the idea of sending thank you cards, but I really have bad handwriting and I was too embarrassed to send those thank you cards. And then one day my husband, my company received a thank you card from a movie star, a beautifully handwritten thank you card on custom paper that was so gorgeous and so kind and so heartfelt. And it made me feel like crap because I didn't send him a thank you card. And then I was introduced to Send Out Cards, which is a service that allows me to send thank you cards through an app on my phone or, a computer. And those cards are printed, so stamped and mailed for me so that I don't have to worry about my messy handwriting back to the pain point. And so now I send thank you cards and gifts to all of my custom furniture clients. You see how that worked? All right, you guys ready to workshop?